Welcome back to episode 2 of the new Valheim MiniBuild series. Super excited to be back here. If you're new to this series, welcome. This series is all about super cozy, small builds, and just fun adventure and community and whatnot. In some of the episodes, I'll be joined by my brother as well as another friend. Today it's just me though, picking up where we left off in episode 1 with building a super cozy troll cave hut. I'm so excited for this build, so without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I turn this beautiful little troll cave into a super cozy lakeside hobbit house, if you will. I did a little bit of terraforming since episode 1, just kind of getting a little bit of a path up here, thinking maybe I could do something on top of this hill, but I guess we'll see what it turns into. So let's get building. And I'm started off here with a forest is moving raid. Alright, let's make some quick work of these greylings and grey dwarves. Just lead them away from my house. I guess I'll just walk around for a bit, and then when it says they're calming down, then I'll take care of them later. Or I could just do that. I suppose that works too. Alright, forest rest again. Let's pick them off one by one. I know, this is so cheating. Don't judge me. I want to build. I don't want to fight just yet.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Alright, one last little grey dwarf. Yay. Finally. And we did end up getting an ancient seed from that, so that's pretty cool. One step closer to taking out the elder. Okay, now back to building. Alright, so now that that's been taken care of, we can actually start laying out this build here. So I'm going to start just placing a torch so that you all can see a little bit better what we've got going on. So I basically have my bed, I've got a workbench and tanning rack, you know, some basic upgrades to make it level 3. Just kind of in the necessities spot, I moved my bed to this section. You'll see why in a minute. This is where I want my bed to be. This is where I'd love a workbench to be. I sort of just did a little bit of thinking of how I want to lay this build out to where there's a little door in the center, either in the center here or over here. I also want to make it accommodate 2 people. I got a request for that in the comments of episode 1 to include an extra bed in each house just so that builds can accommodate 2 people, since a lot of you like playing with friends, as do I, of course, so that'll be a fun thing to implement here. So what I did to lay this out is first determined where the center of the troll cave was, which for me was about here. This middle section was kind of the center, so I went ahead and placed a floor plank in the back, as far back as I could, so that when I build a wall, actually I'm gonna need to get some more wood here, basically placed it as far back as I could so that when I build a wall like that, I can't walk into the troll cave. So any farther back, and you can see that I end up entering the troll cave. So that was kind of my goal for that, and by the way, there is no troll in here, so we got lucky there. Or unlucky, I suppose. We will want to get some troll hides soon. But yeah, so that was kind of the plan for this, was to have this floor plank as far back as I could, to where when I place a wall, I can't accidentally walk into the troll cave. And that gives us a total of 3 floor planks long, or essentially 6 meters long, that our floor plan is going to be, which is actually a bit of room, a bit more than maybe you would have thought of initially, especially when I show you kind of the plan I have for this build. So we're going to start off by just kind of framing in some basics. I'm going to take the core wood and we're going to kind of put some supports out here, just to kind of start framing in our front wall here. And then I'm going to do some wooden beams at the very top. That'll allow us to snap this piece of core wood up. It'll kind of glitch into the rock like that, but I am totally okay with that because this build will definitely be integrated into the rock very nicely, I think. And you can see here that the 6 meters gives us actually quite a perfect amount of room in here to be exactly at the front of the troll cave. And this will work for any troll cave. They're all laid out very, I think they are all the same, if not very similar in size. So yeah, you can copy this exact same method for a little troll cave house. So then I'm just gonna snap the floor in, just to start getting our snapping points, get the floor looking nice. just gonna go ahead and place a little stair there. Just kind of acts as a nice little entry point, if you will, I suppose, right there. Then we're gonna go ahead and fill in these gaps along the sides, because we just want the front there, but we kind of don't want these holes along the sides. So I'm just gonna turn it 2 snapping points. So 1, 2 on both sides. And then I'll just kind of tie into the rock really, really nice. Then we're just gonna go ahead and take our 2 meter by 2 meter wall and snap it underneath that, and then phase it right underneath that one. So as you can see from the inside here, they both stack on top of each other. That fills in that wall gap, and don't worry, we'll do something about the roof there too. But let's go ahead and do that on the other side here. Just go ahead and fill this this wall gap in with 1 on the top, and that's all we need for that side because the rock is already filling it in on the bottom. So now to fill in those little holes in the roof, we're gonna go ahead and snap some roof pieces on. So we're gonna take our 22 or 26 degree, sorry, and we're gonna snap one on there, rotate it 2, snap it, snap it, snap it, rotate it 2, and snap it. And check that out. Doesn't that look nice? Ties into the rock perfectly, and as soon as we enter this threshold, we now have shelter and comfort, obviously, because there's a fire on top. And the bed is still too exposed, but it won't be as soon as we get a wall here in front of it. So now for the walls, I think I'm going to build them up with core wood just a tad. We're going to go up 2, so something like that. And then a normal wood on top of that. We're just going to kind of add some texture, make it look nice. This bed is now sheltered. We're good to go to set our spawn point there. Workbench is under a roof, so we're good to go to repair everything. Super, super happy with this layout. And now we're gonna start working on the interior a little bit. So I don't want to just be able to accidentally walk right into the troll cave, so we're gonna start walling that section off here. I think what I'm gonna do is take, let's see here. I'm gonna take 2 of those there and 2 of them there. That looks pretty good. And then take 2 core wood pieces, kind of like that. Also just gonna trim the floor out here. Let's see, something like that. And we need more wood. All right, back with more wood here. I'm gonna go ahead and go back into building and place a door here. And I think I want the door to open, I actually want it to open that way so that if you're kind of coming out of the troll cave, yeah, that works. So that you can still actually open it and enter the troll cave. And later on, you can actually farm chickens in the troll caves. So that's going to be kind of cool to be able to have a chicken coop right off the back of the house, essentially, is what we're doing here. That's obviously after we fight Yogluth, so in a long time, but we're kind of setting it up with a bit of future features in mind, I suppose. And we're just going to go ahead and trim that out. That looks awesome. All right, now for this back nook here, we have a bit of extra space. I could just choose to wall this off, kind of like that, and just wall it all the way till it phases into the wall. But I'm actually going to utilize that extra space there, and we're going to build a chest wall. So what I'm going to do here is go up 2 of those wall pieces like that. We're going to come across the floor at an angle, kind of like that. Did I come across here? I don't think I did yet. There it is. Cool. All right, and then I'm going to come up with some trim here. Let's see, what would look the nicest here? I suppose, yeah, something like that'll work. That looks like good trim. I'm gonna do that. Something like that. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to also build walls. Let's see, oops, accidentally glitched into the troll cave. All right, no worries, it'll happen when I start the build, so I can just go out. We end up right outside the door, so don't worry, you're not going to glitch into the wall when you come out of the troll cave. I just like the door to be there as like a stopping point so you don't accidentally go into the troll cave a lot. Alright, so we can go ahead and snap that on right there. And then go ahead and put a little top beam there. What I'm going to do here, which is going to be really cool, I'm going to put a wall of chests stacked on top of each other. Such a great use of this little corner space here. And obviously you won't be able to accidentally walk into the troll cave because there will be some chests there. but that kind of opens the space up a little bit and allows for a really nice wall of storage. So let me go ahead and build that real fast. All right, so for this chest wall, we're actually going to utilize a new feature that came out with the Hildir's Quest update, which is alternative snapping points. So to get our chest frame here so that we can place the chests, we're going to take this little 1 meter high half wall, and we essentially want to snap some boards like this. So we could just aim to the side here, or we could point there, and you can see we can only snap it here. But if you can't quite get on the side here to aim like that, to place the floor for where the next chest is gonna go, what we're gonna do is just aim here and press E, and it's gonna set the snapping to manual. And we can keep hitting E, and it's gonna rotate that to where you can see it snaps in place. And then you can just hit Q, and eventually it will go back to snapping auto. So E is snapping manual, Q is back to snapping auto, and you can keep tapping E to rotate that snapping point until it lines up where you want it. So that's a really, really, really awesome feature. All right, and now we have that done. We're gonna go ahead and destroy that half wall, put a little beam there, and that is where our first chest is gonna go. So I'm gonna kind of just phase them out kind of as far as I can before they sit up there, similar to how I do all my other chest walls. It's gonna look something like that, stacked all the way up to the top, or not quite all the way because we can't actually put a chest with the rocks sticking out there. So I'll figure out what I'll do on the very top section, but it's a great use of that little corner space. All right, so there's our little chest corner completed. And as I said before, we can't quite fit a chest on the very top because of that rock. So I'll figure out what to do with the little shelf up there. But in terms of looks, I actually want these front beams to be core wood. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that real quick. I think it'll just match the rest of the build really nice. Yeah, that definitely looks really good. And now I'm also going to do a little wall right there. I'll just start hiding that back section there. That looks really good. And then we can also kind of bring, yeah, I guess we can kind of bring this out a bit. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll see how I end up trimming it out. But in the meantime, to kind of hide the top sections, I may or may not do this, but it could look kind of nice to phase a roof like that. I actually really like that. I like that a lot. Kind of cleans up that look a bit. Yeah, that kind of makes things a little cozier back here. Then we can have like a little nook or something back here. This could potentially be the spot for an extra bed. I don't know. We'll see how it all comes along. But this is just looking really, really cozy. I am so happy with how it's turning out. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do a door just yet. I think I might just do a little archway, kind of like that. Looks pretty nice to me. Go ahead and place two of those. Maybe we'll keep these windows. Maybe we'll fill them in eventually. But that is just looking super awesome. I mean, check this out. The space in here is just looking fantastic. We can kind of start dividing some things off. Maybe doing that for the bed section. Just kind of keeps the space open, but also makes it a little cozier. And yeah, I'll figure out where to put another bed. I may actually try to do a bunk bed design here. Let me experiment around with some things and see if I could fit a bunk bed. All right, so I've given it some thought, and here's how we're going to do a bunk bed. I actually can get this to work, I think. What we're gonna do is outline the bed that I placed on the floor here, just with a 2 meter, a 1 meter, and then another 2 meter out back there. That just gives us some snapping points on the floor, because what we're gonna do now is snap some poles, which will be the supports for the next bunk level, I suppose. We're gonna snap one of those, and now we're going to snap a floor across. And what we're gonna do for this, actually, rather than using the 2 meter by 2 meter, because it has that weird beam underneath, we're gonna use these little 1 meter by 1 meters. And we're gonna go ahead and snap a little floor right across, just like that. That'll be for the next bed on top. Then we're gonna go ahead and place some little tiny poles, just like so. I've also just gone ahead and added this little wooden frame here. I think it might just look kind of nice. It adds a little shelf ledge up there that you can access for more storage. And now for the ladder, what we're gonna do is place that right here so that we can now go up here and place another bed right up here. So I'm gonna try to mirror the bottom bed there. Place it something like that. Looks pretty cool. And we don't want to place beams across the front here, because if you place a beam there and you sleep on this bottom bunk, you will forever be stuck in that section. So for some reason, if you delete the beams there and you use these little 1 meter planks, you can actually sleep on both of these beds and not get glitched out. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I don't know if it's evening yet. Yeah, it's not evening. But if I sleep in them, like up here, for example, I can actually walk around on top of this bed right now. I obviously can't really see my character unless I like squat way down. But you can see that I can actually walk around here, which means that I can lie down and sleep. And when I wake up in the morning, I will not glitch through the roof or anything weird. Same thing on this bottom one. I can't currently walk on it, but trust me, when you get up, you can actually walk out of it and you're not glitched in there. So this is the minimalistic bunk bed design that I have come up with that actually works after a little bit of testing. So I am extremely pleased with this. So there you go. You can actually sleep 2 people in this cozy little troll cave cottage here. Is this not the best design? I have to say, I am really, really loving this mini build here. So now let's just start making things look nice. I think I'm gonna go and add something like that. And then maybe we could go with maybe a little 45 on it. Yeah, that looks really nice. It could be like, we could put a little personal chest down here when we unlock that with iron, and then another little personal chest up here so that each person has a little spot to kind of lay their armor, because a personal chest has 4 slots, which is the perfect amount for armor. You can have 4 pieces of armor, the legs, the shirt, helmet, and a cape, which is perfect for like going to bed or some weapons or something. And then you can see we have this little gap here. Again, another amazing use of the new snapping points that we have with the Hildir's Quest. You can see that no matter what I do, I cannot fill that gap with something. But if I hit E for manual snapping, and then I hit E again to rotate it, and there you go. Snaps in just like a charm there and fills in that little gap. So there we have it. A nice little ledge there, maybe for a personal chest. Not quite sure what yet. And then I do think I want to fill in this top section with some shelving at some point, whether it's another chest that goes up here. I mean, heck, this could even almost fit a black metal chest up here. It's actually quite a lot of room, especially if we get rid of these little roof pieces. I still can't decide if I like them or not. Let me know what you think in the comments. So with that, let me do a little bit of work, see if I can deck out this interior a little bit. It's super nice, actually. I really like this. Oh my gosh, not another one. Okay, finally that's over with. So what I was saying is I really like this torch being placed right here. It's actually a really awesome placement. And another thing to fit even more storage in this build and make it even more cozy is this. We can place some 1 meter walls up here. Oops, I have to turn off manual snapping. And there it is, auto snapping enabled. We can go ahead and place those all the way across to create yet another shelf ledge up here for some chests or some item stands. I mean, you name it, it is definitely going to come along really, really nicely. So let me spend a little bit of time decking out the interior of this build with what I have. So yeah, I'll get back with you all once I deck it out just a little bit with a few later game things in mind. Obviously, I won't be putting in some personal chests right now. I obviously don't have black metal, but as I obtain those things, we will hopefully deck this house out even more as the series goes on. All right, so I have done a little bit of work decking out the interior here. You'll notice I have a fine wood stool and a fine wood chair. How I got fine wood without unlocking bronze first is basically just chopping down a normal tree and knocking it into a fine wood tree a million times to get fine wood. This is by no means how I'm going to do it in the future, but I figured I needed a chair just to add an extra comfort so we can have that nice comfort 7 in here, and just to add a little more pizzazz to the interior, I suppose. So yeah, starting off right now, it's very basic, but you come in here, got all your crafting, and then to the left are the beds, a nice little nightstand or bedside table there. Then you've got the tanning rack, which could be destroyed and put outside, and that way you could place like the Raven Throne. You could put a bunch of stuff here. I mean, this is like, yeah, you've got a lot of room. I decided to put a little backing on the workbench for the tool rack, or the tool shelf, once I unlock that recipe. And then this is what I did up here for now, just like some little brackets holding a chest. And then we've got some nice little shelving up there. And yeah, this is essentially maybe a little reading nook. Nice little cozy corner of the build here. Then you can obviously open that door, enter into the troll cave, which could become the chicken coop later on. And then you head up here. Got some nice shelf space for personal chests, item stands, black metal chest right there, whatever you desire. You've got the bed up here and the bed down here, and it is nighttime. So let me show you what I mean by the fact that you can actually sleep and get up just fine without your head knocking against the top too bad. So I'm waking up now. You can see that it's kind of glitchy. You can see my little helmet poking through there, but I can still walk out. I can still walk out without getting stuck. So that's the trick there. So with that, that's the simple little interior. Now let me just put a little nice awning on the outside. All right, so I've gone and gathered a little bit more wood here, along with my wood stacks here, so I can build this awning and wait out the rain, so that it'll be a little easier for you all to see. So I'm gonna start by just putting a couple of supports on the corners, something like that. Looks pretty nice. A couple of poles coming down from those, so that we can sort of have, I guess, yeah, something like that, little supports or whatever. And then I could come over just like so with those. Maybe even put a little railing on the sides here, just to again make that vibe a little more cozy. And then we can continue with the roof pieces right across there. And check that out, doesn't that look amazing? I cannot believe all of this is in such a little confined space. Super, super cool. So now I'll just deck this out the way I usually like to. Putting some trim across the front. Could even just leave it like that. It's actually kind of small and cozy that way. But I always do like to just kind of trim out the roofs. Makes them look really, really nice. So we'll take these little 1 meter pieces, kind of come out with those. And then come up with the 26-degree pieces here. There we go. And then we can stand on top of here. Oop, once I have some stamina, need another raspberry. And phase those right up into the troll cave. Just like so. So it kind of acts as like some more support. We can just put these little 1 meter planks right out the front. And it just gives that roof a beautiful, cozy little overhang there. That looks awesome. It's kind of like a little lean-to, maybe a little shed or something. And you could leave it like this. We could put more of the corewood poles out front. Again, however cozy you want something like this. I think I'm just gonna leave it fairly open, just like this for now. But this is also an awesome spot where workbench upgrades could go. You see I have a little chopping block outside here as it happens to be. I could put the, I could put the odds out here. I could put all sorts of cool things. Put a little wood stack and a stone pile. The cart could be parked under here. All sorts of goodies. So I just absolutely love this design. And I always surprise myself with my builds each time. This is definitely a top-notch mini build that I will be looking so forward to upgrading and decorating more as this series continues. Like I said, maybe I'll put a little banner in the doorway once I get a little bit more fine wood. And as I said, doing more, gathering more resources, unlocking new recipes, this build will just be decked out to its fullest and end up looking amazing. So do be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see this build come to life. Comment down below what you think of it. I really, really, really like this for our mossy, hollow, cozy hobbit house by the lake. And I really can't wait to do some landscaping, but for that we'll have to get the cultivator, obviously. So I will probably be diving into the Bronze Age in next episode, just getting a few barrel chambers out, getting the smelters, and getting some good bronze gear, just so I can continue the builds, be able to do some more landscaping, also have a little bit better gear to fight with and whatnot. While I'm at it as well, let me move this campfire down below, because it looks kind of weird being up top. And check that out, I could put a little seating area, a little sitting log out here. I mean, isn't this so cozy? And like I said, I cannot believe it's actually, you can actually have 2 people in here, each with a bed. Comfort 7 so far, and that number will only increase a whole bunch as we get more upgrades in here. But yeah, comment down below what you think of this little build, and if you are excited for more episodes like this. Super excited to have gotten to some building this episode, and I hope to see you all in the next one. As I said, be sure to subscribe. I also have a Discord server, link in the description if you would like to join that. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.